Hello everybody, this is Jonathan, and today I'll be doing a video on DuckOS, which is a Unix-like hobby OS. It has been created by ByteDuck, as you guys can see. He's a great programmer, and this is a great operating system that I never tried out myself. But the best part about this operating system is that you can run Doom, and Doom is the greatest game that has ever been created by mankind. So this is their GitHub page. I'll leave it down in the description. They're currently working on making their website better. They're currently working on their website right now, but basically this just shows up their GitHub repositories with their code and stuff because it's open source. And you guys can download it by clicking onto this link over there from where we see try DuckOS. There should be a disk image you should be able to download. Just click onto workflow and then you should be able to select the image file to download. So I'm going to read the description about it. A hobby Unix-like OS with a graphical window manager and applications for x86 based computers. It's quite short but very easy to understand. It's made as a hobby. It was not really made to be popular, they just wanted to do this for fun. But if here's a screenshot of some of the applications that's running, for example, for System Monitor. They also have lib3d demo, they also have DuckOS, about DuckOS, they got lib3d demo over here. I guess it's about or something like that, so I'm not completely sure. But over here is also files, and files shows up all of the applications and all the files that are basically saved to the computer. And there's a very nice taskbar, and there's also the time as well in here, as well as the date. And that's basically it really with it. So we can just open up any applications you want. They do also have the disk sweeper as well, Duck Sweeper, which is meant to be something like Minesweeper. If you guys ever played Minesweeper, if you guys are like in the alpha generation, you'll probably never heard of Minesweeper, but it used to be a very classic game where you would have to click onto these boxes and try to avoid to click onto a bomb, and the bombs would just be at random places. It's a very hard game actually, I'm honest opinion, and I was never able to complete it. But it seems those are fun actually. But I always get frustrated at Minesweeper. But I'll be willing to test out the Duck Sweeper as well, just to see if it works basically the same way. So it has been tested with a Dell Optiplex 320, which is an old desktop PC. But yes, okay, and here is some stuff they're currently working on. If you guys want to read through all this, you guys can. If here's some GUI programs that they currently are working, there's a calculator, there's a terminal, there's System Monitor, there's a forum row, there's Sandbox, there's Launcher, there's Files, there's Viewer, there's also lib3d demo, and there is also Editor, which is a basic app to edit text. So its editor is a basic app to edit text files. There's also command line programs. Then go ls, which lists out the entities in the current or given directory. There's also cat. There's also cp to copy files, mv to move files, pwd to print the current working directory, quite similar to Linux, which I may actually test out in this video. You guys can also do play as well to play some audio files. Okay, cool. And over here some libraries that basically I've used, I do believe, for code or something. Okay, they actually have libduck as well. So these are just some libraries that it uses. And if here's some ports, they have Doom as a port. They have Benulities and GCC. So that's pretty cool. So now let's try out right now. So I'm gonna open up to the terminal because I need to run up the QEMU to open up the image file. If I now press on the enter key, it should now basically boot up, as you guys can see. Welcome to DuckOS. If here's my desktop, there's nothing on the actual desktop, as you guys can see. There's no icons as you would get on like Linux or anything like that. You just have to click on this icon over there on this apps menu in order to open up any application. So there's not going to be anything on the wallpaper or anything like that, as it would do on like most operating systems. Okay, so over here shows up the time and the date, and if here is the applications menu, so all I need to do is click over there. It can be a bit laggy sometimes. Now I'm going to click onto lib3d demo, and just see this demo. As you guys can see, this is the demo. It is just a pencil with a document, as if we're going to write down some notes or something. Now you guys can click over there to close out of the program on this box. You guys can go back to apps. You guys can go to 4 in a row, and that's basically allows you to drop this one there, and this is the next player. So the next player is blue and you are currently red. So once your player will go, the other player can then start the goal, and you need to try to get 4 in a row. So you need to try to get 4 reds stuck together, and they have to be together. It can't be separated. So this one was red, and if I put this one as blue, if I put this one as red, if I put this one as blue, if I put this one as red, this one is blue, and then this one is red, player 1 wins because there are 4 rows stuck together. So that's pretty cool. Oh, so blue have lost because they didn't have 4 in a row, even though they only have 3 in a row. So that means 3 of them are literally stuck together. If red was over here, then and blue was also up here as well, they would still lose because there needs to be blue in the entire row for it to win. It needs to be like 4 in a row, like 4 stuck together. So you guys can click onto hint, and that should give you some hints. I'm not too sure what does. Oh wait, this probably is the computer, isn't it? So if I place, okay, you guys can also play against the computer by clicking onto CPU, and that should allow you to play against the computer. Awesome. And you guys can click onto new game to start a new game. And that's basically it really. It's just a simple 4 in a row game, which you guys probably have played before. I'll just close out that game. I'll now go over there, and I can click onto About DuckOS, and that just describe what it's about. And it shows up the version as well, and it shows up a nice image of a duck. Isn't that cute? I'm going to close out of it. I'm going to now go into the calculator, and I would expect it to be very simple, yes. So you guys can do 7. I do believe this. Okay, we can make it into a positive and negative number. You guys can do 7 times by 7. If we now do equal, it should be equal to 49. If I now press on the clear button, if I do 7 times by 2, that should equal to 14, as you guys can see. You guys can also divide numbers as well, and you guys can also minus numbers as well. So that's pretty cool. And I can do clear again. I can now do 5 plus 5, and that should give us an answer of 10. Well, if I make a mistake, does it crash the system? What does it show? Okay, let me clear it. If I do 9 times 81. So I don't know what it does if I make a mistake. So for example, if I press on 9 times, if I do equal, it just shows up automatically as 81. So yeah, let me close out of it. I'm now going to go back to apps, and now I will go up to the editor, because this will be our text editor. We can drag it like so to make it bigger if we wanted to. You guys can go to file, you guys can open, you guys can save, and you guys can go to save as. There's also view as well, which allows you to add line breaks as well, which is pretty cool. So now if I start typing down hello, if I now click onto file, if I now click onto save, just ask me where I want to save it to. So for example, I can save it to the apps directory, and now I can give it a name. So let me give it as hello.txt. If I click onto save, it should now be able to be saved. If I close out of it, if I go back to the apps, if I go back to the editor, oh no, I got an error. Okay. Oops, something terrible happened. If you weren't expecting this, please open an issue to get on GitHub and report it. Okay. I was not expecting that actually. Okay, I'm going to close out of it, and I'm going to try to run it again. Sorry about that. Sometimes it happens. I don't know if it was able to actually write that file to the actual system, but if I can try again, if it does crash again, then it might be because there might be an issue with the actual saving the file. If I now just type down hello, if I click onto the save button, if I now put it into this directory, if I just call it untitled.txt, then I click onto save, if I close out of it, if I go back to apps, if I go back to the editor, okay, I don't have any more crashes it looks like. If I now click onto file, if I open something, if I open up the enter, okay, so it does actually save it. It was just a random crash, which sometimes can happen. So I just had a red screen of death of DuckOS. Okay, cool. And all guys can also do is go to save, and that should save it. And you guys can also go to save as well if you want to save it to a different directory. And you guys can open up any file that I want to basically open. So So it's basically meant to be a very basic text editor. You guys can also go to view, you guys can add line breaks if you wanted to, so I think we can do that character as well, which I don't exactly know how this works. Okay, now I can close out of it. And now let me try out another application. There's also Files, which is basically a simple application that allows you to browse your file directories and all of the applications that is installed on the system and all that. So for example, if I click onto bin, it will take you to the bin directory. I can click on this up arrow to go back. I can click onto the apps and it will also take me to all of the apps. I can now go back and now I can click onto bin, which shows up all of the files for bin. I can now click onto the user and it shows up some files for the user, and you guys can click onto share and that should take you to that directory as well. And you guys can click onto cursor as well, and that allows you to see the cursor. What I will do right now is that this is basically a very simple file manager, so you guys, I think we can open up any documents as well by clicking onto it, and it should take you to a text editor. If we go to apps, it should just open up one of these applications if we click onto it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, the next one I want to try out is going to be System Monitor. So if I click over there, it should show up all of the processes that's running in the background. Let's work with that. If I now go back to the apps, and then if I click onto System Monitor, right? Okay, I'm going to go and test out the terminal instead. Okay, cool. So this is the terminal. Now I can do ls, and that should list out all the directories. I can now go into directories by doing cd. I can now do ls again, and now I can open up any application I want. So I can do like editor.app, right? No such file. Okay, editor.app. It should be able to let me run it from the terminal. Run editor, but yeah, we can just basically run like basic commands over here, so you guys can also move some files if we wanted to by doing mv. So this basically is just a very quick demo of how the terminal basically looks, and it looks pretty simple. Nothing too advanced. There's not really much customizations you can do within the terminal, for example to make the font bigger or to change a font or to change the font colors. But it is basically meant to be like a very basic terminal, and I do believe that functionality might be included in the next update or the next many updates to come, which would be quite nice to be able to customize a font and be able to change a font style or to change the background color of the terminal. That's something I'm quite used to because I'm running Linux, and with the terminal on Linux you guys can just customize it to a liking. I'm going to close out the terminal. I can now click onto the application called viewer. And I do believe this is like an image viewer, so I don't know if I've got any images on here. If I click onto user, share, if I click onto cursors, if I select this one, now as you guys can see, this shows up a image of a cursor. If I close out of it, if I want to open up another application, I have to go back to viewer, and then from there I should be able to go back to the user. I can click onto the share button. Now I can click onto the cursors, and now I can select the resize, and this will show up this image as well. Pretty cool, right? I will go back to the apps because it does not display every app that is available. So I'm going to go back to the files, and now I'm going to go to the apps, and now as you guys can see, we have a little bit more over here. We have Duck Sweeper, which is the one I really want to try out. So if I click onto Duck Sweeper, it should now allow me to run the application. And now if I try to click onto somewhere like so, then this will allow me to stop playing it until I hit a duck. And the duck is meant to represent a bomb. So I like this theming of the ducks in this operating system. The ducks are very cute in my honest opinion. If I click onto new game, I can stop playing a new game, although I hit a bomb instantly. So you guys can just see how bad I am at this game. Okay, cool. Yeah, I clicked now to a bomb again. So I then click on the X button over there. And now what guys can also test out is going to be the sandbar, which I believe is just a navigation bar over there. Cool. I know guys can also try out the monitor app as well, but it does not seem to be working. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to go back to this button, and now what you guys can now do is, I believe there should be Doom available. If I go to etc, no, if it's not now use. Okay guys, so I was unable to find Doom, but there are those applications that you guys should be able to try out anyways, and I tried them all out in this video. So I'm going to try to test out the web version, just to see if it does have Doom installed. To the web version, I should be able to play Doom within here. If I, hold on, I need to press on the escape key, don't I? Cool, so this is the web version I'm going to be trying out. If you guys click on this X button, you're allowed to exit. If I now go into apps, if I now go into the files, can I go into files? Okay, so it does not seem like it's working. Oh wait, it is working. It's just a bit slow. Okay, cool. If I now go into apps, okay, these are apps that it comes with, doesn't it? And there's no Doom on here, so I don't quite know how I'll be able to play Doom, because they did say they added this as a support. But anyway, guys, these are some applications that you guys should be able to try out. And if you guys want to try this operating system, then feel to. It's available for GitHub. You guys can install the image file. But you guys may struggle to install it on a Photon box, or have to convert it to be an ISO or into a VDI file. But for easeability, I would recommend you use QUEM or any virtualization software that does support image files, because this will be basically very this make life a lot easier as well. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, please put a like and please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.